Hi everybody, this is Will from Connor Hats, and today I'm going to show you how to clean a leather hat. Everything you need to clean your hat is probably already around your house. If not, a quick trip to the local hardware or grocery store will do the trick. The Connor Hat range of leather hats consist of oily leathers, which is just oils and waxes when the leather's treated, and also some suedes. As you can see, this suede's quite dusty, and the simplest way to do it is just to take your paintbrush. Perfect. There's quite a few ways to clean suede. It's not an easy task, but it can be done. One technique is to take some chalk. It's much better to have the same color hat as the chalk. So you want a brown chalk for a brown hat. And if there was a stain on this hat here, you take the chalk and rub it in like this. And what that's going to do is it's going to soak the oil and grease up in that chalk, and then you'll have to take a brush and brush it off really hard. Sometimes a nice hard brush is good to get the tough stains out. And you'll notice as you go this way with the suede, all of the hairs will come this way, and go back that way, it'll go darker. So you have to keep that in mind as well, not to be fooled that there's any problems there. That's just the way the suede hair moves. So rub out that chalk once you've got all that grease soaked up. The next technique is a little more extreme. You take some sandpaper and you can take a stain. Sometimes this can actually make it a little bit worse. So if you rub really hard, you'll rub off all those little suede hairs and you'll end up with like a bald patch. So you don't want to do that. You want to take it real light and just go steady, real light, and see how it looks. And then you might want to brush it a little bit to see what happened, and keep going back and forth until possibly you'll take just a tiny layer of the stain off, leaving a much better look underneath. One other technique is you can use an eraser. Now, this probably isn't the best eraser to use. The best one that I've found is one of those big clear art erasers. They're real soft and you can erase out. Sometimes it'll take off dirt, and sometimes it'll even take out like a stain of some kind. Just rubbing it away and taking away all of the flecks. So if your stain still isn't gone after all those techniques, then you'll have to break out the big guns, and that is the distilled vinegar trick. So you take your distilled vinegar, you get your rag or old t-shirt, you put a little bit on there like this, and you let it soak in. Then you rub the dampened cloth over the stain, and then you let it dry completely. So the other type of leather we use is a waxed or oily leather. So there's a few techniques you can help with stains and dirt and marks on an oily leather hat. So one of the simple ones is, everyone always has a little bit of oil on their hands. And if you see a mark on the hat and you just take your thumb, sometimes you can just sort of smooth out that oil and sort of almost like you're making it bigger, but you're not really. You're just kind of working it in, and hopefully that'll take care of like a light stain of some kind. The next technique is, when you really want to get serious about it, is you can use something called saddle soap. And what saddle soap does is basically, it can actually darken the whole hat. It'll also re-waterproof the hat as well if you need it to, but it'll take that stain and sort of mask the stain. The only thing you should be careful though is it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna darken the hat. So you want to try some on the underbelly of the hat just to see if you're okay with that, or if you can imagine it that's all gonna get darker. You can take the saddle soap, get some on a rag right here, take it. See how that's darkened the hat? You just rub it on a little bit like that, or all around the brim if you like. Take a dry piece of cloth. You want to wipe it down. So look how much darker that hat is. Pretty much you're going to take a light brown oily hat into a dark brown hat, but it's going to get rid of your stain, completely mask it, and if you like that new color, then you have a unblemished hat.
Yes, this feels like